So I'm going to keep going, and we're going to talk about the positive stuff now. Um, Almost a week ago, about 5 days ago, was my 7-month HRT anniversary, which is fantastic. And it also marks 1 month that I've been on my latest dose, which is 4 milligrams of estradiol per day, up from 3, and staying at the same 175 milligrams of spironolactone per day. So, did I notice any changes with the increased estradiol? Um, a little bit. The first day I took the 4 milligrams of estradiol, that night I felt awesome. I felt super happy for no good reason. Well, there was one thing that happened that same day, and that might have contributed to it. But for the most part, I just felt super happy and really energetic. And I was like, oh my god, I hope this is because of the estradiol, and I hope I keep feeling this way. Things have kind of toned down a bit, but I still feel really good. I think I do have more energy and feel a bit better, even compared to the 3 milligrams. It's not quite at the level that it was when I went from 2 milligrams to 3. But going from 3 to 4, I do see some mild improvements in my mood and my energy and all that. So, very good. There was a tiny increase in sex drive for the first few days. It could have been a placebo, I don't really know, but now things have kind of normalized once again. I can't tell if my breasts are still growing or not. There's a tiny bit of soreness, but I don't know if that's soreness because they're still growing, or is it just general boob soreness? I don't know. I hope they're still growing. I'm almost disappointed now because the growth is very slow now, if it hasn't stopped completely. And it's kind of like, is that it? Because I was hoping they'd get a bit bigger, but they're still a bit sore, so they might still be growing slowly. But we'll see how it plays out anyhow. So yeah, that's basically that. And of course, the endocrinologist is on vacation or whatever he's doing, so I won't be seeing him until August. Now, here's the next really cool piece of news I have to share. Last week, I had an appointment at school. This appointment was with the co-op office to talk about my job and how I'm doing so far. I got my job through the co-op program. And it was nice. It was a one-on-one with the co-op coordinator, and she just asked a few questions about how I was doing, what I was doing, and stuff like that. And one of the questions she asked at one point was, she asked me to talk about any difficulties or challenges that I've faced in my job so far. And in the beginning, it's like, well, none really. I'm doing okay at my job. People like me, I like the people, everything's going just fine. She's like, alright, that's fine. And then I'd say probably about 5 minutes later, a light bulb turned into my head. And she was on to other question, and I was like, hold the phone. I do have a challenge that I can talk to you about. And I said, I don't know if this is obvious to you or not, but I'm undergoing a gender transition. And she's like, oh no, I didn't notice. And which is fair. I was dressed in boy mode because of course I came there straight from work. But we ended up having a really awesome, long and awesome conversation about my gender transition and the sort of things and challenges that I'm going through, including in relation to my job. And yeah, it was just a great conversation. She asked a ton of questions. She apologized over and over for being nosy, and I'm like, no, it's fine. I love talking about this, and I'm so glad that someone wants to know this stuff. And I think she said that I was the first transgender student she's dealt with. She's quite young, not much older than me, and she's only been on that job as the co-op coordinator for, I think, 3 or 4 years. And so she was super interested to get to meet and learn about a trans person. I was super enjoying getting, answering all her questions and talking about, my experiences and stuff. And one really cool moment was when she confided in me, to my infinite surprise, that one of the professors at school, a professor that I know, is transgender. And it's like, and I had no idea. I should have seen it. Now that I know, I can see sort of the signs and stuff, but I had no clue. One of the professors at school is transgender. This professor has never taught me, but I know who they are. They also work in the co-op program. So it's just super cool to know. And she's like, yeah, if you ever want me to set up an appointment between you two to, discuss trans stuff, I'd totally do that. And I'm like, holy crap, thanks. That would be awesome, and I'll consider doing that sometime. It was super cool to learn. It really is a small world. And we did talk about my job in relation to my gender transition, the fact that I'm not out at work. And I talked about, for the first week of work, I had a ton of dysphoria surrounding work, but it's gotten, mostly better. And she said that although she's not up to snuff on all of her trans info, and it's kind of new to her, me being the first trans person, the first trans student that she's ever encountered that she knows of. It was very new to her, but she gave me some pointers about how I could go about coming out at work, and the fact that indeed being able to come out at work is important and stuff like that. And she basically said, yeah, you should come out at work. And I was like, yeah, I can. And I suggested, well, maybe at the end of the summer, because I really don't want to, cause some turbulence right now in the middle of my job. And she agreed with that and said it would be fine, but she did recommend that I do so. And so I will, probably at the end of the summer, especially because, I don't know if this is true, but my boss has mentioned once the possibility of keeping me on the job part-time after school starts. My job ends on September 1st, but they may keep me on part-time after that, since I'm only going to be a part-time student at school. Given that possibility, I definitely want to come out at the end of the summer, so that if they do choose to keep me at work, then I can finally be myself more at work. And also so I can get their feedback regarding, had I said I was transgender in my interview, would that have affected anything? How would that affect my co-workers and stuff like that? So I think it'll be a good conversation to have. I hope I can bring myself to have the confidence to bring it up in my exit interview at the end of the summer. So I feel better about doing that now. So all in all, it was a really wonderful conversation between me and the co-op coordinator at school. It was just fantastic. I felt great once I got out of that meeting. It was really nice. So that brings me to the last item of this video. I got some new clothes recently. New clothes, brand new clothes that I bought myself, brand new, from a store. Anybody who follows me on Instagram and sees that I'm wearing this dress right now, this is a dress, they're rolling their eyes because I've made it very, I'm so in love with this dress I'm wearing right now, which I'll show you in a minute, that I've posted tons of pictures of me wearing it, and I've probably worn out the novelty, and people are probably just rolling their eyes to see me wearing it yet again in this video. So what I did was I went on Old Navy, which I don't know if, yeah, Old Navy does operate in the US. I went on Old Navy's website. Actually, a friend tipped me off. Actually, it was one of my neighbors that lives upstairs. She tipped me off to a big online sale that Old Navy was having at the time. She messaged me, she's like, hey, Old Navy's having this big sale online, and you should check it out. So I'm like, okay. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that several weeks ago, I posted a picture, a screenshot of the Old Navy website showing this dress that I'm wearing right now. And that was the first thing I bought. So I went on Old Navy's website and I bought 4 things. One of them was this dress. Another was a full-length tank dress. Another was a cardigan. And another was a pair of, I guess, leggings. They're basically functionally leggings. I think they were more advertised as like jogging pants type things, but they're basically 3/4 length leggings. And I'm not going to put them all on for you here or put screenshots in the video here. I'm too lazy. You can go to my Instagram account, becoming.me.0, to check out. I uploaded, I think, 11 pictures of me wearing this and the other things that I bought. So you can get your fill's worth of me wearing those clothes. But my favorite thing by far is this tea dress. I'm totally in love with it. I love it so much, and the fact that, you know, it's a piece of women's clothing and it fits me properly. Because Old Navy, you can buy garments made for tall women, which is 5'9" or taller. I'm 5'11". And, you know, you can get sizes from Old Navy up to 2XL, which is great. This is an XL. I think an L might have been a bit better, because this is supposed to be a fitted dress. And it's not, to my knowledge, fitted basically means skin tight. This isn't skin tight. It almost is, but not quite. So I might have fit better in a large. This is an extra large, but it fits me just fine. I'm totally satisfied with it. But yeah, Old Navy's great for that stuff. And yeah, the stuff was cheap because of the sale. I also had another discount because it was the first time I ever bought stuff on Old Navy's website. And I had a gift card that I've had in my wallet for like 10 years. So between those 3 things, I bought $135 of stuff for $40 in the end, which is so cool. It was just fantastic. It's just awesome. Unfortunately, the tank dress, it's far too large when I stand up wearing it. There's several inches worth of it lying on the floor. It's way too tall, and it's just too large in general. But it turns out that I don't like it anyway. It shows too much chest. I have a big aversion to anything that shows my chest because my chest, I have hair growth on my chest, and although I keep my chest shaved, you can see the stubble. So I don't like wearing anything that shows my chest. Plus, I just don't like showing a lot of skin. I very much believe in the whole less is more thing, where you have something like this where you don't show skin, but you show the curves of the body, and I think that's really sexy personally. So that's kind of the style I like to adopt. So anyway, I'll show you the tea dress here, because I'm just totally in love with it. If I can figure out how to raise my tripod. And if my camera has a wide enough lens. Oops. Oh, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. No, this ain't gonna work well, is it? So, this is what it looks like. This is how tall it is. So this is the XL tall. And you can see it hits just above my knees, which is right where it's supposed to be. And again, I'm 5'11". And yeah, I'm totally in love with it. And actually tomorrow, when Mom picks me up, we have a long weekend coming up, the Canada Day weekend, and I'm going to spend it with Mom. I'm actually going to wear this. I'm actually going to come home in it, and it's going to be the first time I've ever worn this in public. We won't be going anywhere. It'll just be the car ride from here to Mom's house, but it'll be the first time I've worn this outside of the house, and the second time I've ever presented female technically in public, so that's really nice. I'll show you the upper shot here. And yeah, I totally love it. Another reason I think that maybe I should have gotten a large instead of an extra large is because it's kind of loose at the top. And actually, if I get my hair out of the way, yeah, you can see the back of it's really floppy, and you can kind of see my sports bra. Maybe if I pull it down, maybe it's just not pulled down very well. So if I pull it down, it's a bit better. Well, there's some bra strap. That's not very nice. Maybe I should have gotten a large. I don't know. I'm gonna buy a second one of these in a different color because I'm returning the tank dress because I don't really like it. So as long as I'm getting the money back for that, and actually the tank dress was the price of 2 of these, I'm gonna buy a second one of these in another color. Old Navy has such easy returns. I'll buy a large instead of an XL, and I'll see how a large fits, and if it turns out that a large fits me a lot better, then perhaps I'll return this one too and get this one in a large. So anyway, I'm totally in love with this dress. I love the color orange. You know, I don't own any clothing that's orange, and I love it. I call myself an orange creamsicle when I'm wearing it, because a creamsicle is a popsicle that has the colored fruit flavored ice on the outside, but then vanilla ice cream on the inside. And this is sort of orange with white stripes, so it's kind of like an orange creamsicle. So anyway, yeah, I'm in love with this. Although this is the first time I've seen myself. This is the first time I've taken a good look on camera, and now I'm wondering, just with that sort of loose back, and well, I gotta stop wearing a sports bra. I complain about how my bra strap shows, but this is a sports bra, and if I was wearing a normal bra, then I wouldn't have that issue. So I suppose I gotta look at more normal bras eventually too. But anyway, we'll see how it all goes. I'll buy a second one of these, probably in a large, and I'll see if that fits any better. So that's about all I want to talk about in this video. It ran a lot longer than I thought it would be. I don't like to talk about bad stuff. I don't enjoy it. I always like to talk about nice things, positive things. But this is just something that's really, you know, it's really spoken to me recently. You know, it's made me do a lot of thinking, and it scared me, and it's amazed me of how much of this negative stuff I'm seeing in the past couple of weeks. Maybe I should stop putting myself in situations where I can read this stuff. But I sort of need to get that off my chest because it was really stressing me out. But at least I had some positive stuff to share as well. It's a few days later. I thought I was done with this video, but there was something I wanted to add on to it. The day after I filmed the remaining, the previous portion of this video, I had an appointment at school, again, with my academic advisor. Now, I'm quite close with my academic advisor. He's been my academic advisor for the past 3 years. He's also taught me in 3 different courses. He's also the manager of the amateur radio station, so he's also my amateur radio Elmer, and I've done a bunch of extracurricular stuff with him that's amateur radio related. So we have quite a thorough professional relationship, and we have, I think, he would never admit it, but we have, I think, a nice personal relationship as well. So the day after I filmed the previous portion of this video, I had an academic advising appointment with him just to go over the courses I'm going to be taking next year and make sure I'm on track for graduation and stuff like that. And we did all that, and then we went up to the amateur radio station because some people actually sent me some QSL cards that I had to sign. People who had heard me on the radio up in the station on HF. So we went up to the station to fill out those 2 QSL cards, and while I was filling out the cards, I've always wanted to tell him about my gender transition, because I think it'd just be nice to know. I've never told any of my professors. I think some of them should know, because the day back in, when was it? I think January, or sometime. I totally forget when it was, but back when I was at the banquet, the school banquet, and that was my first time dressed as a female in public. Some of my professors were there, so they would or should certainly know, but he wasn't there, and I've always wanted to tell him about it. So while we were up in the station, I was filling out those cards. I said, I have some kind of random to ask you, and he's told me in the past that he's actually been to my YouTube channel, the main channel, because I had a couple of amateur radio videos on there, one of which is now actually hosted on the school's website, on the amateur radio page. And I said, you've been to my YouTube channel, right? And he goes, yeah. And I said, are you aware of anything personal that I'm going through right now? And he goes, yeah, I do. And that kind of surprised me. I'm like, so you actually know? He goes, yeah. And that sort of surprised me, although it shouldn't, because I didn't know how far he trolled into my channel. Yeah, it turns out that he had seen my coming out video on the main channel, and he's actually been to this channel and has watched, from what I gathered from what he said, he's watched a few of the videos on this channel, which is kind of cool. And it made me happy that he's actually known all along. He never talked about it, because he said in his words it's just not his place as a professor. The professors aren't trained to deal with stuff like this, and it's just not in his place to talk about it, and that's totally fair. But yeah, he said he's known, and it was very cool. And he said he spoke to another professor, a professor who's sort of one of the heads of the department, and I guess that professor asked him if he knew of any students who might be undergoing a gender transition, and he mentioned me. And so yeah, I guess probably the department, a lot of people in the department know now, perhaps have always known, who knows how long they've known. But anyway, I won't go too far into detail about that, but we had a nice conversation about it, and I felt very, very good that day. It really made my day having that conversation with him. So that's 2 great Fridays in a row. One when I had my co-op appointment, and then this last Friday with my academic advising appointment. So I thought that was really, really nice. So anyway, that wraps it up for this video. So thank you for continuing to support me as always. It really means a lot to me, and there will be more to come for sure. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.